The Lagos State government says all hands are on deck to fight the cholera outbreak, which has recently ravaged the state. The State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Bayomi, made this known while speaking at a press conference in Ikeja, Lagos.
A handful of patients described that they had consumed some street beverages, but majority of patients talked about other forms of access to drinks, sachet water, boiled water, minerals, and so on and so forth. Street beverages are very common in Lagos, in Nigeria. It is what a lot of people consume on their way to and from work or after school. So it's not surprising that the number of a few of our suspected cases referred to the consumption of a liquid beverage. However, liquid beverages are produced in a batch. And once the batch is produced, it is distributed and consumed. So when we go back to a particular location where they are manufacturing street beverages, we may not find anything at all because the batch that was contaminated has been completely distributed.
Professor Abayomi advised residents to go about their normal activities as the government is on top of the situation. The Health Commissioner urged residents to support government's efforts by maintaining proper hygiene, such as regular washing of hands, eating a balanced diet, among other measures.
We obviously will pay attention to the source of water that those manufacturers are using, and that is what we're doing at the moment. We're trying to identify as many of these street manufacturers. First of all, we're trying to emphasize the fact that if you're going to manufacture anything for public consumption, you must be registered with NAFDAC. So that will immediately put a very high level of regulation over the manufacture of street beverages. So far, we've tested several, and we haven't got any positive results back on cholera. We're continuing to test, hoping that we can maybe identify a particular source, but as of now, we've not been able to do that. But the tests are still ongoing. It takes a number of days for us to culture cholera in the laboratory. Those results that have come out so far do not indicate any particular source of cholera amongst our street beverages. But I must say to you now that we are going to intensify through the initiative that I just alluded to, approved by Mr. Governor, called the Safe Plate and Safe Drinking Initiative, where we are going to make sure that if you are producing any beverage or any food for public consumption, be it a restaurant, a side street, a buka, a beverage, anything of the sort, or even distributing water, that you are subject to more intense regulation. This indeed was approved just before cholera, as if the government knew that with the onset of the rains and the periodicity of the onset of severe gastroenteritis, we needed to up our game. Unfortunately, cholera hit us before we could even roll out this heightened regulation and intensification of surveillance, but certainly that activity is happening right now, especially with investigating access to water and those individuals that are manufacturing street beverages.
Access 24 correspondent David Taylor reports that the commissioner said, as of 23rd of June, out of the 579 suspected cases, 43 were confirmed by the laboratory, while 29 deaths have been recorded.